Alabama 8.5, total 49. Alabama, the long favorite at home. Are we trusting the Crimson Tide to cover a number here?
I'm not trusting them to cover a number, but I am trusting their defense to keep Tennessee and hold Tennessee. And it's kind of crazy that my bet for this game is under 49 because when these two teams met last year in Knoxville and Tennessee pulled off the huge outright upset, both teams combined for 101 points. So it is a little bit scary going under the 49, but it's two very different teams in terms of who was at quarterback on both sides. Here you have Joe Milton and Jalen Milroe, and I know Tennessee won last week into A&M, and that was probably their marquee win, but they only scored 20 points and 7 were on a punt return. So I still have a lot of questions about this Tennessee offense, like the idea of Alabama's defense confusing Joe Milton and just kind of making him, play to his weaknesses. So I really like the idea of going under here. I could see Bama covering. If I had to pick a side, it would be Bama, but I do prefer the under 49 here, just like Alabama against Joe Milton a lot.
Colby?
Should we get like a little Brent Musburger soundbite of him just going, "You're looking live here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama." My favorite soundbite. We're taking Alabama. Speaking of Tuscaloosa, taking Bama. Like I said last week, the Vols rely heavily on the run. Joe Milton isn't that guy. He's just not good. Alabama has a better defense, and I think the defense will hold the run game. They are almost averaging under or allowing under 100 yards per game on the ground. 12th, the best defense in scoring. I guess I'll finally trust Jalen Milroe for the first time.
Now you're saying you trust a quarterback.
He
never goes
honestly,
well
I was
for
looking at
us.
the stats. He has throughout the season.
Yeah,
There's been some games where you're like, ooh, and then the last few games have been, all right, I guess I can get down with this.
Yeah, I don't know how much I fully trust him, but I think we can all agree Joe Milton is not the guy that we can trust. So I'm taking the under as well, under 49. I agree with Nate on this one. I think the high scoring game we saw last year is not going to be the similar game that we see this year. The Vols offense is inconsistent. Jalen Milroe, as much as you're talking him up and trust him, I think he has an opportunity sometimes, and the other times he doesn't hit his mark. So he can be just as inconsistent.
He's better than Joe Milton. I think we're good.
Yeah, and I don't know if Tennessee scores a lot in this game. Maybe it's Alabama that scores the points. Alabama's defense at home is a very different story. They have yet to give up over 21 points in a home game, other than the Texas game. And since the Texas game, they haven't given up over 21 points. So their defense from the tough start against Texas, I think they've locked everything down, really made sure that they don't do that again with the long plays and the deep shots. So I like their defense to come through, and the inconsistency on the Tennessee offensive side is concerning. So I'm going to go under 49 in Alabama, Tennessee.